Hello and welcome to Annie's Short Stories. I hope you enjoy this story. I'm going to try and upload a new story each day. The Poisoned Chalice. In Vinewood, California, where rolling vineyards painted the hills in hues of green and gold, a chilling mystery unfolded at the Morrow Winery. Vincent Morrow, a vintner whose name was synonymous with excellence, collapsed mid-toast, his lips still wet from the first sip of his latest reserve. The glass slipped from his hand, shattering on the stone floor, and with it the illusion of a perfect evening shattered too. Detective Holly Arnold stepped into the tasting room, her blue eyes scanning the scene with a precision that belied her 28 years. A chemist by training, she traded lab coats for case files, her sharp intellect now a weapon against crime. A poison, she said tersely to her partner, Mark Thompson. But how, and by whom, the private tasting had drawn an eclectic crowd, family, friends, and wine-world luminaries. Elena Morrow, Vincent's widow, wept softly, whispering of his recent unease. Lucas Morrow, their ambitious son, had argued with his father over plans to sell the winery to a corporation. Sophia Rossi, a rival vintner, still stung from a competition Vincent had won, some said unfairly. Gerald Finch, a critic whose scathing review had threatened Vincent's reputation, stood stiffly in the corner. And Maria Sanchez, the winery's steadfast manager, watched with eyes that held decades of secrets. The investigation begins. Holly sent the glass and wine to the lab. The results were swift and damning. A rare toxin, derived from a local plant, coated the rim of Vincent's glass. The bottle, however, was untainted. Someone had targeted him alone and with chilling precision. She interviewed the guests, her questions sharp as a blade. Elena spoke of Vincent's paranoia, hinting at unseen enemies. Lucas admitted to a heated row but swore it was business, not personal. Sophia's venom was palpable. She'd never forgiven Vincent for that contested victory. Gerald's grudge seemed petty, yet his bitterness ran deep. Maria, loyal to a fault, deflected with vague assurances. Digging into the winery's past, Holly unearthed a scandal. Vincent's father had cheated a partner decades ago, a betrayal that birthed a grudge still simmering in Vinewood. The partner's son, Robert Keller, now ran a rival vineyard and despised the Morrows. A visit to his estate revealed a greenhouse brimming with the very plant tied to the poison. Robert sneered at her accusations, claiming an airtight alibi from a wine expo miles away. A second strike. Then came a twist. Lucas, tasting a different vintage, spat out just-in-time traces of the same toxin lingered in his glass. You survived, shaken but alive. Was the killer targeting the Morrow lineage, or was Lucas the true mark all along? Holly's mind raced. She uncovered a hidden room in the winery, its shelves lined with Vincent's diaries and old letters. One entry stood out, a confession that the Morrow's famed recipe was stolen from Sophia Rossi's grandfather. Vincent had planned to reveal this at the tasting, to right an ancient wrong. Had someone killed to keep that secret buried? Suspicion called around Sophia. Her chemistry background and access to the glasses made her a fit. But Holly wasn't convinced, too obvious, perhaps. A cryptic note from a friend led her to Clara, a shy local who'd adored Vincent from afar. Clara had seen Lucas threaten his father the night before, adding fuel to the son's motive. The truth uncorks. Reviewing security footage, Holly noticed Gerald Finch lingering near the glasses, his movements furtive. His past held a darker grudge. Vincent's affair with Gerald's wife had ended his marriage. Confronted, Gerald confessed too quickly, too neatly. Holly saw through it. He was protecting someone. Then Thomas Adler, a fired employee with a vendetta, admitted sneaking into the tasting. He'd seen Sophia hovering near the glasses, her hands unsteady. Holly pieced it together. Sophia's rage over the stolen recipe, her expertise with poisons, her presence at the scene. In a tense showdown at the winery, Holly accused Sophia. The vintner's cool facade cracked. She'd coated Vincent's glass, she spat, to reclaim her family's honor. But there was more. Sophia had manipulated Gerald's daughter, Emily, who loved Lucas and feared the winery's sale. Emily, an unwitting pawn, had handed Sophia the perfect opportunity. Justice served. Sophia was cuffed, her vintage grudge laid bare. Emily, tearful and repentant, faced leniency. Holly stood amid the vineyards as dusk fell, the air thick with the scent of grapes and resolution. The poisoned chalice wasn't just the glass, it was the resentment that had festered for generations, now drained by truth. Sipping a glass of Mora wine, Holly smiled faintly. Another call buzzed in her pocket, a new case, a new puzzle. With her intellect as her guide, she was ready. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like, and even better, like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.